Abbas Hussain here from SecondsOut here with Team Joyce after that win against Daniel Dubois. All the smiles. Cam, you've got a big smile on your face. Stephen, you know what? Stephen, I'm going to start off with yourself first. Before the fight, a lot of people were doubting you because they might have not heard of you. We know recently you were in Derek Chisora's corner, but for yourself, how big a win is this for yourself and Joe?
Yeah, massive. You know, like it's massive. Obviously, I've been around for a while, but you know, I've been a second and I've been there in the corners. But like, obviously, I haven't been a head coach for that long. That was my third fight as a head coach, and I can't concentrate. And obviously, it's an absolutely massive win for Joe, massive win for myself, and all of us. To be honest, it's brilliant.
Obviously, a couple of days before the fight, we heard the news about obviously Ismail Salas testing positive for COVID, but you guys overcame that. How much did it mean having Jimmy Tibbs in the corner as well as the rest of the team?
Yeah. You know, Jimmy's fucking essential. Oh, sorry. Jimmy, like I said before, you can't get any more experience than Jimmy. And yes, like it was a blow not having Salas, but having Jimmy next to me, I couldn't have Joe couldn't be in a safer pair of hands. So it wasn't really anything. Like we said, we got the news, we overcame, we adapted, we went into the fight with the game plan that we laid out at the beginning, and we got the job done.
And that game plan, was it that job? Because that job was phenomenal throughout the whole night. It was clinical, it was accurate, and I want to talk to you, Cam, about the engine that Joe's got. But just that job, was that the game plan that just sort of just put him on his back foot, put Daniel Dubois on his back foot?
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, we knew Dubois was a good jabber, but Joe is a phenomenal jabber also, and Joe has a slight little bit of reach on Daniel. And the game plan was actually to take Dubois' jab away, and there's various ways you can do that, you know. So we jab him with him, we're sliding off to the right hand side and just keep popping your jab out as you go in. And we said before the fight, like when we were here in the dressing room, this was going to be a battle of the jabs, and whoever can win that battle will win the fight. And you know, Joe barely threw any other shots, like maybe a couple of right hands, a couple of left hooks. The jab did it all. And
Greg, just want to ask yourself, we saw sort of Daniel in the second round especially try to put it onto Joe, you know, hit him with a couple of clean shots, but we've seen it before, but especially on a big fight like this, Joe's chin is, I don't know what it's made of something solid. I've not seen a chin like that in a long time. Just talk to me about that.
Like I say, he's like superhuman, isn't he? Like Cam took him up to the university and they got him tested, and he's like 7 times his bone density is 7 times more than a normal human being. So there you go. That's what it is.
Actually, then, Cam, I'm going to ask you that chin. Before I talk about that chin, just the engine as well, because it was 10 rounds consistent. He was on him, you know, pushing him back onto his back foot. There was times where Daniel did and tried to. It was in very short bursts that Daniel got the way he wanted, but consistently that jab was being pushed out. Talk to me about the work you've been doing with Joe and why the stamina and the engine, you know, is very important in part of his game plan.
Joe's a phenomenal athlete, and for this camp we trained smart. We had smart work throughout it out. We had a close communication. Like Greg just said, we got tested early on in camp to make sure what we was doing, and we planned for a hard 12 rounds. Not for the first round to Joe to blow himself out there and gas in the 10th. We wanted the same strength, the power and the speed from the first round into the last round. And we planned for that, and we worked our plan tonight. And the boys done an amazing job in the corner, keeping Joe cool, calm and collected. And Joe's performance, a disciplined, smart, experienced performance from Joe tonight.
Talking about experience, did a lot of people, I asked before actually, but did a lot of people write off his amateur experience and because coming into this, you know, they were saying he was experienced, but they weren't probably giving him the sort of what he deserved, sort of credit that he deserved. But when you look back at it, that amateur experience does pay key to what he's doing nowadays.
Yeah, of course. Like, listen, he's been around the world, and guys like Filip Hrgović and Usyk, if you put them in with Daniel now, they're hard fights, right? And Joe's been there and he's done that a long time ago. And I think we talked about his experience. And I think the other thing, like, there was a big point of, you know, a lot of people spoke about the records and who's for who. And the reality is, the reality is that Daniel hadn't been in there with a big, strong guy who would stand in front of him and punch. Like a lot of guys who he fought got on the back foot. They were intimidated, and rightfully so, because he's a big, strong guy. But they got on the back foot, and it made it easy for him to walk on. And Joe was never going to do that. You know, we had the smart game plan, like Cam said. We were using that jab, stepping around, and Joe was going to stand there in front of him. And when he hit Joe, and you know he didn't go anywhere. For someone like Daniel, he's just consistently knocking people out and steamrolling over him. That's a heartbreaker, you know. Oh, I've hit him with my best shot. He's still there. And we always knew that. We knew these were the questions that had to be asked of Daniel. And unfortunately for him today, he didn't have the answers. But he's a 23-year-old kid. He's absolutely devastated by the looks of it. But he's a 23-year-old kid. He will come again. That's an experienced learning fight for him. They'll go back. They'll go into the gym. They'll have a look at it. They'll make the adjustments, and he'll come back stronger. And he'll come back. And I have no doubts that guy will be a champion in the future. No doubts.
I was actually going to ask you that, but you've actually answered my question that he will come again. Guys, I want to congratulate you guys once again. It's been a big night for Team Joyce, and I see the smile, so you know I can tell it's a big night. Guys, enjoy your night. Have a good night. I know there's a party going on somewhere. So
Tell me where it is. Tell me where it is.
Team Joyce, thank you very much for talking to Seconds Out. I appreciate that. Thank you.